But that's why I said a job. I understand it. But
In a relationship.
in a relationship, that's kind of crazy. Because I would like to use empathy. Like, bro, put myself in that situation. Like, don't let me know what's good, bro. I don't want to waste my time.
What
I
if
ain't
you
waste your
already
time.
communicated that with that person, and it's just not being heard?
I mean, if you already communicated, he should already know.
quit.
He should already know. No, it shouldn't be no quiet quit. It's just, you know what? We tried this. It's over. What quietly quitting mean? Like, yo, you don't even know that person quit.
Why did you start talking to me in the first place? Why did you start talking to me in the first place? Shut your ass up. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Why did you start talking to me in the first place? Huh?
No, what I'm saying.
For no reason? Because when you start talking to somebody, it's one thing. You get to decide whether or not you like them because you see whatever it is that you see and you like it or you don't. Okay, cool. So now that you've seen that, you make the decision in your mind or whatever it is, and you make the decision and you say, I'm loving this person. This is my person. This is what we're doing. I've made the decision. This is it. Or you don't just sit there and make a decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start backing up.
Yeah,
because while that person is wilding or doing whatever they are, if you start backing up, then that's going to make that person act out more or do something like that. But that's why I feel like, okay, this quiet quitting thing is definitely a thing for sure. It's also not the mature thing to do in opinion, necessarily in all cases. Now, if you're dealing with someone who might stab you, let's say, just if someone who's going to actually hurt you and you want to quietly quit so that they, you
won't even know I left.
That's one thing.
You don't even know.
There's a lot of intangibles that can, in terms of that level of one-on-one intimacy, that can escalate into incident.
Oh snap! We got customer service.
Okay.
With a hookah. But like, but as I'm reading this, I'm thinking like, I wonder who would quietly quit more, a female or a male.
That's hard to say, man.
It's everybody's situation is different in terms of
because I'm putting myself in a situation. Why would I quietly quit? I don't. If it's me, I'm on the damn. I'm not, bro. I'm just no time be dealing with you. If I ain't fucking around. But I can see why a female would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially when we talk about money. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Yeah, it's a lot of plethora of reasons why a guy would be supporting a female, helping her out financially, and she would sit there and like, hey babe, just like ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But me as a dude, it's like, why would I be sitting here fronting with this girl? Like, and 9 times if I'm fronting with her, she probably ain't give me the cat. That's what we 9 times out of 10 motivated by.
That's the logic that comes in.
I mean, it's like, why would I be? I don't get it. But anyway, let's move on to this next topic. The next topic is why do people stay but disengage? A little note they have here. It says Forbes notes quiet quitting stems from feeling overworked and undervalued.
I could definitely the undervalued part.
Yeah.
Being overworked and not being appreciated while being overworked.
Giving your all and not being reciprocated.
But again, why would you stay but disengage? Like if you feeling undervalued and you feeling burnt out.
Because some people it's still difficult. Like you said, disengage means that they're still tied together at a certain level. Some people that just kind of be by themselves, even if it's one-sided. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read some lyrics, and I think they had it right when they said this. Feel free to start a sing-along if y'all want to.
I'm gonna turn.
For a while to love was all we could do. We were young and we knew, and our eyes were alive. I don't know who sung this. Deep inside, we knew our love was true. For a while, we paid no mind to the past. We knew love would last. Every night, something right would invite us to begin a dance. Something happened along the way. What used to be happy was sad. Y'all, Earth, Wind, and Fire had it right with it.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I might have heard the song.
Yeah, after the love is gone. And the thing is,
I'm gonna get his ass.
I mean, but they had it. It showed how it underscores what it is when that an inferno of love it was burning so passionately has been extinguished into nothing. This can be spontaneous. It can be something that was already going. It's unpredictable. But when people feel like it whatever was that magnetic force that brought them together has ultimately separated in a wide chasm of discontent and overall dissatisfaction, and ultimately,
Are you going to turn it down, Swiss? Thank you.
And
Thank
just
you.
divorce, ultimately culminating in divorcing themselves from it. It just happened. And it's the emotional roller coaster, and then hitting them jagged rocks of reality.
The bottom right corner. Okay, all right.
But when it happens, it happens. When it does, you can't get away from it. But some people, while they know mentally they've separated themselves, they can't articulate that to say it's over.
Okay, that just if you were adults and you want somebody to say the same to you,
I would say I think it's immature.
What's wrong with just saying, "Hey, I'm done," whatever the case may be. Now, I can see in a new relationship, and it's not something that you can explain to that person because you don't want to make that person feel like, it's something wrong with you.
Right.
Like, it's just something that I don't like. I understand that. But when you're in a relationship with anyone maybe longer than 4 or 5 months, at that point, it's for you to say something because you've been around that person enough. Hopefully in that 4 or 5 months, if you decided to start dating because you were with that person before y'all decided to start dating at some point, maybe, if not, whatever the case may be, at 4 to 5 months, you should be able to tell like, okay, this is going to work. This isn't going to work as far as what you can and cannot deal with.
There's a defined difference in terms of nascent beginnings and defined history. And, but ultimately it comes to a level of how people feel about how they're able to communicate. And that's not something ideally we want people to say what's on their mind. We always express that. But the thing is, are we always ready for the truth that we may find in them?
I think the people that aren't ready for the truth don't ask for the truth. And that's how you get people that
it's true.
Silently
disassociate.
Silently quit.
Yeah.
And it's not, or quietly quit. It's not that, you want to make things worse for this person or anything like that. So, you're just going to wait for it to flame out. And when you wait for it to flame out, it kind of doesn't always do the same thing because that other person isn't always just waiting for it to flame out. That other person might think, oh, this is just a rough patch. We'll get through it. And then that's when you get something crazy. And then it's like, oh, you thought that I was playing when I said when we first got together that this next relationship was going to be my last relationship. Oh, okay, let me show you. And then now.
And that's where you have to.
I'm just saying.
But that's a whole nother tangent, Yummy, but you're not wrong. But that's something where you have to appropriately gauge where that person is when you meet them.
Okay, but like I said, they say it up front, 1, and then 2. Is that childish? Is that childish for me to say this is my last relationship and you pissed me off so bad because you made this my not last relationship? And I feel like that's fair.
But that's I wouldn't say childish. That's very
pissed
feminine.
Me off so bad that I have to do something about it.
It's very woman-like.
Shouldn't you go into every relationship with the thought of this is my last relationship?
Not when I was younger. No, when I was younger, it was just this whatever. But now that I'm at the age that I'm at, hey, quit playing with me.
No more time.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm tired of playing, and at this point, I might do something crazy to you. I don't know how I'm gonna feel in a few months.
But you shouldn't do nothing crazy to nobody just because it didn't work out.
But
wrong.
People got a crazy streak.
Wrong.
You should never do nothing crazy. You should never do nothing crazy to nobody because that's very vindictive, and then that makes you look crazy.
If you're now, that's true. That part is true. But if
karma's
you're
terrible.
Also, if you're silently quitting on somebody and you're making me go crazy thinking that, okay, this is going to work out. This is going to end up being, whatever. We're going to work it out. We can get through this because that's the way that I think. And you know that, and you use that against me and you let that eat me up inside just because you want to see me scream and you don't care. Or the simple fact of, like you said, some people just don't have it in them to say it, and that's fine. At the same time, you should have never got with me because I said in the beginning, I'm not playing. I'm being serious. Don't play with me.
Right.
And then they still went and did it anyway.
Whether quiet or loud, I feel like the reaction it's different, but how am I trying to say this?
It's good.
I say, regardless of,
because I had something to say.
So if somebody quietly quits on you, you know what I mean? Like, regardless of how a relationship ends, you should never do nothing crazy to nobody. Not unless they gave you an STD, not unless they putting their hands on you.
No, you're putting stipulations on it.
But why would you want to? All right, so don't do nothing crazy to nobody. Don't put your hands on nobody. Don't do nothing to them, because if it didn't work, it didn't work. For whatever reason, if that man or woman quietly quit on you, and that wasn't the person for you, it just did not work. So why would you want to be vindictive and do something to them because you told them this is my last relationship?
The energy you spending on that, you could
because
now I have to move on.
Okay,
I never came into this.
That's
no,
that I busted when it was out to college.
That's
no,
even
if it is life,
we didn't work.
In life,
if we didn't
jobs,
work,
we have to move on.
Why do we got to be
people passing away? We have to move on. This and this and that. If I'm saying that I'm gonna have you, you're gonna have me. We're gonna take care of each other, and we're gonna be together forever.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I feel like whether you
I
loud
feel like
or
it's okay.
quiet.
It's okay to move on at some point, but even once you move on, or once you have known or decided, okay, I have to move on, it's no saying, man, forget women. Men gonna come and take all 4 tires off your car in the middle of the night.
But why does that
men
have to
are gonna
happen?
send other men at you to hurt your feelings.
But why
men are going out of their ways to still be vindictive.
But why are we?
Trust me, I've seen quite a few. Knocking doorbells off.
It goes both ways. But
how many?
I've had the front bumper of my car knocked off. I've had my tail light.
Why are we doing this? Just because relationships don't work? That's childish.
No,
why are we doing these things amongst men and women to each other? If a relationship does not work, it didn't work.
Right.
There's no reason to cut the tires.
Why did you feel like I wasn't going to be upset?
That's crazy.
Because
why did you feel like I wasn't going to be upset?
Because we didn't work.
Shots at you, bro.
Yes.
Just because we didn't work out?
That has upset me to the ultimate.
Because we didn't work out.
Hey, take notes, fellas.
I'm on the quiet
She pretty,
side.
but
she's definitely on the
that's
loud
gonna
side.
upset
Either way, the person still got the right to be mad.
Be lucky. Hold on. Be lucky and feel lucky that I don't care that you're gone or you're leaving. Be lucky and be happy about the fact that I don't care if you're leaving.
But why does that man have to be in fear of what you're going to do in
you
retaliation?
Gonna mess up that man
hold on. Because he don't want to be with you no more.
It's a fair warning. It's a fair warning.
So a man can't not want to be with you no more?
When I come into this, I'm thinking this is long haul. This is it.
And it didn't work.
I'm not messing with nobody for no reason.
I don't like you no more.